I took a shortcut last time, and it's hey, and they raided my
It,
bank account for
it,
$20 million.
it
I took a
almost
10 million shortcut, and they raided my bank account for 20. You get to win. You can spend this. I won here. I can spend it here. Now I can show everybody I won. Woo! But money can't fulfill you, and life is about fulfillment. Me,
uh,
Ross said, "Is it lonely at the top? It's
yeah.
lonely at the bottom too."
I think man, what?
Hey, wait. So what you
Yeah,
say? You got to choose your lonely.
Yeah, you
yeah,
gotta
You got to
choose your
choose your
lonely. You
yeah,
want
lonely.
to be lonely at the top? I hope this can give them some insight to be like, yo, the most fun, the most balliness is to ball out for your life, not to ball
Yeah,
out for a moment. They remember when they weren't at your mercy. And so, if I can go back, I just wish I treated people better and thought more before I acted.
everybody wants success until they find out what it actually costs. You know, people see the money, they see the houses, they see the cars, but they never see the pressure that it takes to be successful, right? The sacrifices. What's good, everybody? Listen, man, I think everybody wants success, especially in, 2026. I think it's kind of like evolved, and the achievements of people are just like the drive seems to be kind of like out there in the air these days but I think that everybody wants success until they find out what it actually costs. You know, people see the money, they see the houses, they see the cars, but they never see the pressure that it takes to be successful, right? The sacrifices, the relationships, the mistakes, the loneliness. Today, I don't want to talk about how to become successful necessarily, but I want to talk about what success actually costs, right? I think that's a important thing that we don't really discuss a lot. And I kind of want to kick it off today, man, by asking y'all brothers, man, Hassan, Brad, when was the first time that y'all felt successful in your lives?
I can actually tell you almost the age and the date.
Uh,
I want to say 2006. I was in commercial real estate at the time. I moved to Atlanta for about a year. I had sold a commercial real estate and mortgage brokerage company that built it for 2 years. Didn't know a lot about how to really build businesses, but I had went from zero, or myself and a business partner, to 22 employees in a matter of 2 years. Then a broker I had known that had a larger company offered to buy it from me. Found out that I was horrible at managing people. I came to the realization of that, and you know, thought I could do things on my own. So he gave me a price, and I took the money and ran to Atlanta. About
mm,
2 years later, went to Atlanta, started flipping houses. We were doing about 3 houses a month. What do you call averaging anywhere between 30,000 and 50,000 profit per house. And after the second year, I remember it was around Christmas time. My father, like I said in other episodes, anybody who watched, I grew up in a very educationally and financially competitive household. And my dad always was rewards for financial, doing chores, getting good grades. You got a reward of getting $100 an A, $500 a A, straight A's, a double bonus, shit like that.
mm,
And I remember looking at my bank account at about 32 years old, and I had a little bit over $1 million. And I remember cutting from my business bank account to my personal bank account. I cut myself a check for a half a mil. And I remember printing the check out and then faxing the check to my father. And on that inscription, I put successful at 32. This is my
mm.
definition.
Oh, you actually wrote it down.
And that was my definition because in my life, success related to more how much time do you have? Like success relates to time to do whatever you want. Like, when you grow up, I started working for my dad at 12 years old and realized the value of time, that as long as you worked and were trying to acquire, you didn't have time to spend it your way.
Hmm.
My definition of work is whatever you have to do at that time that you don't want to do. And so anything, whether it's doing chores, whether it's some for your wife, some for your kids, if you don't want to do it, it's considered work. And so I knew the more resources, and at that point in my life, resources were just capital. The more resources you had, the more time you didn't have to work. You could focus your time on doing things you really wanted to do. And so when I had that, I pictured my life at that time was probably 100 to 120 grand a year. That was pretty much my budget for entertainment, paying mortgage and whatnot. And so I had realized at that point I had about 10 years of my life if I didn't want to do anything to sit on my damn hands. And that was kind of my definition at that point in my life of success. Being able to spend time how I want to spend.
And what the
Yeah.
how old you said you were around that time?
32.
Around 32 years old. Did you maybe I did you say how much you had how much you closed on that deal with?
Well, it was a bunch of deals that equated to
Oh, okay, it
that.
was it was a collection of deals.
Yeah, it was a collection of deals that equated to that. But what do you call it? I had about two after selling that company and 2 years in Atlanta. I was on a run. I'll tell y'all later about another run in Atlanta.
Okay, okay. B, what about yourself, bro? When would you say that time that feeling came on you?
Man, uh, comparing it to Hassan's example of success, I don't know if I can really to compare it to that. But for myself, success to me is when you set goals for your personal goals for yourself, and you achieve or and obtain those goals. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
success has come from me in various shapes and forms throughout my life. Probably the most impactful success I would say would have been when I was 18 years old. My high school track team, we had been ranked in my four by I ran on a 4x1, one of the events I ran on, and we were ranked the year prior. We were in the top five in the state going into the meet to qualify, which is called sectionals in Illinois to qualify for the state meet. And
Mm.
one of my so we were ranked in top five. That was in my junior year. All of us were underclassmen. One of my partners, he jumped. You know what I'm saying? Jumped the gun, and we got disqualified. So we didn't even get to go to state that year. And it kind of set, and that's the first event, and that was all of our first event for that particular meet. So that kind of, but that event we were ranked the highest, and we expected to do the best, and that kind of set the tone for the whole meet. So only one of us ended up qualifying for state at all when all of us have been hitting state qualifying marks the whole year. So it was kind of discouraging. Well, the next year we were ranked in the top five the whole season. Long story short, we set the goal to try to win state. We took second, lost by this much. And when I say we literally lost by that much, we lost by that much. But it still was a good feeling. I bet based upon even though we didn't win and I didn't obtain that goal. I mean, second coming in second, man. You know what I mean? Top of the state. You know that was a hell of an achievement. So that was probably my first experience with setting goals and accomplishing or almost accomplishing those goals enough to where I felt I was still successful. Um, I would say
Mm.
the second feeling without getting into criminality and success in that realm, I would say would have been I went back to college when I was 26 years old, and I ended up getting my degree in finance with a concentration in accounting. By the time I was 29, I ended up, and so right after that, when I was going to school getting my degree, I had an opportunity to take some banking classes. And I was like, man, I ain't never gonna work in a bank. I ain't gonna take these classes. You know what I'm saying? And I felt things in my background would have prevented me to working at a bank as well. You know what I'm saying? And so anyway, I had that year in school, my professor was really big into real estate and used to show us his real estate portfolio and would use it. It was a real estate class I was taking, and he would use and explain a lot of examples and cash flow analysis and things of that nature. And he would do it and explain it in a way kind of like Hassan explained how he was doing in the commercial real estate, and then but he would just show us a lot of different graphs. And really, my point is, it really grabbed my attention, and so I really wanted to get involved in real estate. So once I graduated from college, I went and got my real estate license. So once I purchased the properties, and when I went to purchase my third property, or my last two properties, because it was the same owner, and I was dealing with the same lender, or actually it was a new lender, but they were so impressed. The bank was so impressed with what I was doing. It was kind of unheard of to them that they offered me a job. And remember, I said I didn't even think I would ever work at a bank, and I had things in my background that would prevent me from working at a bank. Anyway, they offered me the
Hmm.
job. I ended up working at a bank for a few years, learned a whole lot, and still ended up selling my properties. But to me, once again, that was and that wasn't even a goal I set for myself. But I guess the goal was to get to grow and learn the real estate and be successful in that. And at that point, it made me feel kind of successful. Um, back to and then another example in my life is in my my auto
All right,
dealership.
B, that's a lot. That's a lot of goddamn examples. No.
All right, my bad. We
Hey,
go ahead. Go
hey,
ahead.
remember
No,
these
we
segments?
on
Hey,
time.
I'm
I
sorry.
got you.
The
Yeah.
average attention span for the average
No, go
viewer
ahead,
is
bro.
about
Yeah.
17 seconds.
Yeah. Say less, brother. Say less. I'm getting long winded. Yeah.
Hey, nah, it's all good. That's what this show is
Yeah.
about. Hanging out
Right.
with
Right.
friends,
he,
but making
he
sure
said,
that we keep the audience in mind. Be
he said,
mindful of the audience.
No
yeah,
doubt.
B,
No doubt.
he said, I, with your overly successful self in your lifetime.
He's like, and another one. I got
Hey.
one more. When I was 32, and then
Hey, man.
another
Look,
thing. So when I was 40,
yeah.
I pulled a
Yeah.
move, and that
Yeah.
made me. I got into this
That's it.
car game. And
Hey,
He said,
we'll
all
get
right,
into the car game. Don't even worry about it. You
look, hey, B said, more of the story.
did?
I've been successful since
I've been
18,
successful.
brother.
He's like,
Since
yo,
Since
I
no,
started
18, my
about
young.
brother.
myself, yeah,
He
without a
said,
doubt.
Hassan, 32,
Yeah,
32, nigga, that's
He's like,
old.
man, he just,
yeah,
You was an
without.
old man before you saw success.
you're a late bloomer. You're a
Yeah,
late bloomer. He said, he was taking off. You said you was running track?
yes, sir.
That's what you said. You was running track?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah,
Man,
I ended up.
you can't run, man.
B claims he
You
was
can't,
fast. I think he told me he ran a. I
you ain't
think
got
he
no
told me he
speed,
ran
man.
a
Y'all better
Ross. I
check.
think he told me
Yeah,
he ran a 4.2 or 4.340. He ran
nah,
109.2. I don't know what
yeah.
the hell. Hey,
I I
you
gotta
know
see
what he
the
said?
I
Show
ain't
me the
told you no
video.
shit. I
I
ain't
gotta
told you
see
I
no
the
shit
gotta
tapes,
like
see the
that.
dog.
video.
I
I
ain't
know he
told you
got some
nothing like
skinny
that.
legs. I seen the skinny legs. He got some runner's legs. I know
Yeah,
that.
without a doubt.
Hey,
Pause.
I gotta see the tapes, dog. I gotta see the speed. You
Yeah,
know, for me, bro, I'm trying to think like the first time I had that I guess that feeling of success. I think I had fleeting moments of it. Like, you know what I mean? Honestly, uh, I think like I think I didn't really have a definition for it in the beginning. To be quite frank, I think I want to say I had my first time me feeling successful. It probably was when I was in the church. It it probably was I'm in my 20s, I'm preaching, teaching, and I'm getting all of these, it's probably the same thing that, you know, that artists feel when they finally get like on that stage, that platform, and the crowd is like going crazy for you, and you like all, you feel like you kind of in that zone.
most
I think
definitely.
that probably was the first time I felt a level of success. It wasn't financial success, but it was that feeling of kind of like, I don't know. I guess that is true because you know what I'm thinking about it when you saying like it's dope to hear everybody's perspectives of when we
Success.
first had that feeling, right? Because again, I think when I look back on it, I felt most alive then because I was kind of like I think I felt for the first time that I found my lane when it came to just if we want to put it under a bracket or an umbrella, let's just say public speaking. Like I found my lane. Like it was kind of like feeling the flow and feeling the energy back from the people when I was like in that lane. But I still had the I didn't have the completion of in the back of my mind coming from the hood. It was like, man, I'm trying to get this ain't gonna bring in that money. Like this ain't filling the pockets. Like you know what I mean?
Hey, hold on.
Uh-huh.
The Ross, the church ain't gonna bring in that
Nah,
money.
nah. So
That's the
that's why.
number one place.
Nah, see, I wasn't on that.
What?
I wasn't on that. I was pure hearted at that time,
Oh,
brother.
okay. All right.
I was,
You
I
was
was,
what they
Hey
call
man, that
naive.
nigga,
You was naive.
hey,
At
I was
church,
pure,
at church,
I
bring
was,
in that dough.
I was pure hearted at that time, man. Yeah, everything changed later in life, but at them in those primes, I was pure hearted. So it wasn't. I was trying to make my money outside the church. Like I was trying to have my side hustles. I tried to start several businesses. I always had that entrepreneur spirit,
Mhm.
and they would be short lived. Back then, I just didn't have the. I think I felt like I wanted everything overnight. I felt like it should have just been given to me. I didn't have. I don't know. I felt like because of what I was doing for God. This sounds crazy. I felt like what I was doing for God, like
God owed it to
he
you.
got
yeah,
he
He
got
you
owed
he
got
it
you
kind
to
of
got
you.
owed it
blessings
to me,
coming.
He
right?
You
owed it
got
to you.
blessings coming.
Hey, he
Yeah,
owed it.
Yeah. That
Yeah, he got to bless you. Where the
on,
blessings?
right,
but it
right.
didn't work that way, brother. It didn't. I found out real quick. Like
Yeah,
all
I can
that
relate.
faith is good, but
Right.
you gotta put
What,
some action to that
what,
pavement.
what they say, Ross? God works in mysterious ways.
Hey, he sure did. Yeah. So,
Yeah,
but I did feel now looking back on it, right? I think I should have been more. I could have been more appreciative. Um, because I felt most alive during that time. Like during that was the first time I felt alive, I think. But because of my upbringing, I always had these thoughts in the back of my mind, like I wanted to be rich, and I'm not going to milk the church. I'm doing this as my passion, my calling. I felt like that entrepreneur spirit. I always still had that hustle in me, so I was
got
trying to
a
figure it
got a
out.
got a question for you, Ross,
Go ahead. Yes, sir.
and B. Um, like I didn't really know at what age. Like I used to always have a joke. When I was 16, I wanted $10,000. When I was 21, I wanted, $100,000. When I was 30, I needed $1 million. When I'm 40, I needed $10 million. What did you ever have a number for whatever age you remember when you first thought about financial success on what that number was at what age you were compared
My
to
my initial number was like 10,000. I wanted to make 10. I wanted to make
no doubt.
I wanted to make 10,000 in a day. That was my, and I
yeah,
probably was the age that it came to my mind was in my probably mid 20s is when I
Okay.
started
right.
wanting it. I didn't achieve it until my early 30s. But
Okay.
but then later that goal quickly changed.
Without
I
a
need to make
doubt.
100,000 in a week.
Now you
So
Right.
find I would say you find that, and B, tell me if you agree. Anything for people with our personalities, and I hope people watching, I guess 10% of them to 30% of them going to have our personalities of once you accumulate something, that's never enough. You met that benchmark, and so the what does it say? The goalpost always keeps moving because
correct.
the time you made 10,000 a day, you're like, oh, I can make 10. What's to
Yeah,
stop me from making 20? And now you have a
100%.
formula.
Right.
And so what's to stop you from making? And that's when I hate to say, that's when it kind of gets out of control and our distortion of reality for how the world works is out the window. Like you have
You,
I had a, I remember when I was doing some tax shit back in the day and I was having $200,000 weeks. And at
mhm.
first, I used to spend 10%. I always budgeted my money. I always prepared for the future. I'm one of those that time thing always mattered. But it was like I can always trick off 10% of my money. And so a $200,000 week meant I was going to hang out with friends. I was going to go to the strip club and I was going to spend $20,000 that week, regardless,
Mhm.
because that's my reward for making this type of money. But now looking back, I go, what the hell was I thinking? I
Man,
was like,
what?
it don't cost 20 grand to have fun. I have fun for $500 now.
Yeah, nah. I didn't have those. Always knew how. Well, I started learning how to budget my funds and stuff like that and managing my money. But when I started making crazy money, the type of money that you're talking about, like, and I got into the obviously background and different fraudulent activities, which I'm no longer proud about. But the crazy thing is, I didn't respect the money.
No doubt. You don't.
I didn't have no respect for it, and I think that psychologically. I just didn't, the way I was making it, and I knew I can go back and get it. I ain't had no respect for it, man. I was in them strip clubs blowing money. I look back now, boy, myself, and that's probably one of the greatest regrets because I'm like, man, what the hell kind of investment did I think I was making? Just
Dude,
recklessly just throwing bands.
dude,
I'm talking about $10,000, $20,000
hey,
night. Crazy.
I have, I had a story at the club when I moved to Miami that they called me. I didn't even know what my name was. They called, there was a strip club down the street from my house called Wonderland. It's now called Gold Rush, but it was a relatively high-end gentleman's club. But I remember I went there for like a year and a half, and somebody, a stripper, told me, you know, they call you Mr. Wonderland. And I said, why the hell is that? Because I come here so often. They're like, nah, you spent 250 grand in here last year. I said,
Mm,
what? And you know, at that time, when you're drinking, you're doing drugs, you spending a bunch of money, you do not recall. It's like it's a perpetual circle of stupidity, kind of. It might be fun at that time, but as you get older, it's all stupid too. Dude, you look back at these times, like Ross, you think about, were you trying to like? I look at my experiences like, was I trying to buy myself fun? Was it just that's how I spent my time? Did I
mm,
not have a plan for like a real plan, or did I always think I would be making this type of money?
mm. Yeah,
And so like that's the things that now when I'm, in my quiet time and just reflecting, I circle back to go, man, there's nothing that accounts for age and experience. Like, they
correct.
have a saying, they say what wisdom is spent on the old, beauty is spent on the young. And it's true. You only can learn from experience. Like there's only so many people who you tell them they'll get a headache if they hit their head on the wall and they won't hit their head on the wall. Most people have to experience things for themselves,
Yeah.
right? And I think you and I are similar. You're like, no, hey, and it was cool being a celebrity at a strip club or at multiple strip clubs, right?
Uh-huh.
But at the same point, I look back now I'm 50 years old, and I go, I had fun for too long. And I hope that people watching this that are making the money that we used to make or even less, or making it right now, I hope this can give them some insight to be like, yo, the most fun, the most ballingest is to ball out for your life, not to ball
Yeah,
out for a moment.
correct.
I was like, and the comeback is once you have it, you don't respect the money until it's gone.
100%.
yeah, yeah.
You do not.
Hey,
100%, brother. I do think that a lot of people that's watching, that's going to be tapping in, watching us will want success. And I think that we have achieved, quite a bit of success, at different phases of our lives and still have things that we're on quest to achieve individually, right? Um, what's I guess, based off of even the segment of what you just mentioned, what would you think you guys would feel like the biggest misconceptions people have around success?
me
Thinking that
personally,
it's just, oh, go ahead, B. Go ahead.
me personally, I was just gonna say, man, the amount of time, energy, and work it takes to be successful, the long days, when I was in my grind, when I had the car dealership, uh, I would go 4 or 5 days. Me and my brother both. We would wear the same clothes. You know what I'm saying? And just change our socks, our drawers, and our t-shirt, and wear the same clothes. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting up 4 in the morning,
Yeah,
not
just
getting home
getting it.
till 10, just getting it, not getting home till 10, 11 o'clock. Like I was on the block. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just grinding. You know what I'm saying? And locked in, and we just hitting the highway, going look for cars, look for cars. You know what I'm saying? That was all we was trying to do. You know what I'm saying? And it was very satisfying, you know what I'm saying, and fulfilling. But a lot of people don't
Hmm.
understand the amount of time, energy, and effort it takes to be successful. You know what I'm saying? You sacrifice
I agree with that.
relationships at sometimes. So you sacrifice just
Yeah.
rest. You know what I'm saying? Peace. A lot of things that you have to sacrifice sometimes to be successful.
I definitely agree with that. I can definitely agree with that. You gonna say what you gonna say, Hassan?
Nah, I was like, there's one of my favorite sayings I heard years ago was, 15-year overnight success. Nobody's with you in the lab when you're creating. Nobody's with you in the lab when you putting in that time, whether it's at the car dealership, whether it's making clothes, whether it's doing online sales. Like all you see, all outside people see is the success once it's there. Once you have the monetary or the resources to do things to show your success. For most people in our field, um, and that's really underappreciated, undervalued.
Hmm.
Like, dude, no, it's funny. People want to hear about the grind, but most people don't want to go through the grind and the consistency that it takes to really be successful. Like, it's especially, I mean, and I say success with your family, success with your
Hmm.
kids, success with your career. It, you got to have the time and put in that work, and it got to be consistent. Like, I mean, changing socks and drawers, that
Hmm.
shows that he wanted it that bad enough or saw the outcome. He had a vision that this will be this in a certain amount of time. And I think that most people who are successful, they say, hey, I'm willing to put in the work because I see the finish line. And when you can envision the finish line on something, that's your motivation. You're like, but it's hard for other people who don't have a vision to either one of two things: create their own, because most people aren't innovators, and two, follow a visionary, because the work
I
ethic that
agree.
it takes, and that's why like it's hard to become successful, especially if you need people to run your business and hire, because I hate to say employees don't have your vision or your work ethic because they don't see the finish line that you see.
Hmm.
And so
Uh,
whenever I see somebody successful, man, I don't care what it's in, if it's publishing a book, um, if it's getting in shape, like going from overweight to getting in shape, that is a form of success. That's real success because not only did you get healthy, but you had to put that work in.
I was gonna say you were saying something. I think you said something like success is hard, right? I want to say I kind of disagree. I think what's hard about it is, and you kind of hit it. I think what's hard about it, in my opinion, like I don't think success is really hard as long as the person is willing to be consistent. And like I think it's just it's kind of like the necessary evil of it.
the consistency part is discipline. You know what I'm saying? And this, you find a lot of people out here that don't have the discipline. And just to elaborate a little bit more on what you guys were talking about earlier, when you were talking about, I think I put it more as financial success, and you were putting dollar amounts on it. And you get to this, I'm trying to get this 10, I'm trying to get this 20, I'm trying to get this million, I'm trying to get this 100, I'm trying to get this 200. Um, Once again, like I said, to me, success is setting goals and achieving those goals. You know what I'm saying? Uh, and if you're realistic with your goals, you know what I'm saying, then you're gonna have more experience of success, I guess. You know what I'm saying? And but as you obtain those goals and become successful, then it starts over. Now you set more goals, so now you're trying to, you know what I'm saying, and so it's a constant.
I mean, it's a perpetual movement. It's going, the cycle
Exactly.
repeats
That's what I'm
itself.
trying. Most definitely. Most
Hey,
definitely. So
Rasan hit on a point to me though that I talk about with people all the time. That word consistency is so big to me.
Hmm.
And when I say it's a very small percentage of us who are consistent at anything. When I say at
100%.
anything, I'm saying, hey, taking as little as something as taking a pill. I bet you the average person, I don't know what statistics are on this, but I bet you the average person that takes a statin for cholesterol, right, misses pills. So, and that's something that takes 30 seconds.
Hmm.
And so imagine the person who wants to lose 100 pounds without semaglutide or retatrutide, one of those GOPs. The person back in the day used to have to hit the gym 5 days a week, walk for an hour, and eat right.
Hmm.
Those are three different things. Dude, that's why nobody hardly lost weight. And when somebody did, it was a huge deal. So
Hmm.
now we're just, and that's your health. The key quality of becoming successful is consistency, because you have to be willing to do the same thing over and over, work, or do something that you don't want to do, or learn new habits that make you eventually reach your goal of success or whatever that is. And it doesn't have to be financial, but it's that consistency. And if more people learn, and I think it comes from, I think these are the core beliefs that most people aren't taught the delayed gratification of what doing something over and over and seeing a little bit of progress every day means for the big picture.
I agree. No, I 100% agree. I think that I think that people look down on the work that's being done on you
Oh yeah, nobody want to hear
while
that.
while you're chasing what like what we would call that goal, like that end goal.
It's
Like
not sexy.
the
It's not
work that
sexy, Rasan.
but you're developing in that process, and I think people despise it in the process, and you can only appreciate it after you've actually achieved it and look back. You're like,
And
man,
and
Uh-huh.
I became something in that process.
and people, hey, and people, regular people, the world looks with their eyes and hears with their ears. And so they, like I said, they're not with you in the lab. They not with you be working 12, 14 hours a day. So all they see is you went from a Honda to a Lexus to a Benz to a Range to a Rolls Royce. And all they say is, wow, I remember when he had that Range and Rolls Royce. And B goes, it took me 15
Hmm.
years to get this.
100%.
I'm
And
still,
he's
I'm
like,
Yeah.
still, I'm still,
he
I'm
must
still
have
trying
hit.
to get the Rolls Royce because I ain't got no Rolls
Yeah.
Royce.
Yeah. So what would y'all say, I guess my question is like centered around that. Once you achieved like success, what or what would you say, what did money not fix? Like that you may have thought when you look back at it, like what did money not fix for you? Because people just assume we already know money don't fix everything. So, but there's this like delusion that we have, and then we get it, and there's still a lot of things going on in your life that you
So
realize.
so here's the real deal. Whoever said money can't make you happy has never had any. So money
I
can
agree.
make you partially happy in fulfilling the things that you never were able to fulfill because it's an imaginary form of success. You get to treat yourself to trips, buy things you never thought you would buy. So it's the steady imagination of winning, right? You get to win. You can spend this. I won here. I can spend it here. Now I can show everybody I won. Woo! But money can't fulfill you, and life is about fulfillment. Well, to me, my personal opinion. And so money can do the things, money can give you experiences, it can teach you things, it can buy you things that you never thought you could have or always wanted to do. But at the end of the day, when it comes to money doesn't solve problems that don't have to do with money. Money doesn't solve the time that you need to spend with your kids if you're busy spending your time making money. Money doesn't solve your relationships if your wife or your girl wants you to spend time with her and you're busy making money. And it definitely, if money, I say that you have to have a purpose in life besides financial. Financial, I think everybody needs money. You need money to survive. You need money to eat. You need money to pay for your roof. You need money to drive a car. And you need money to do things. But I don't believe at this point in my life, that's why I learned through the ordeal we went through and going to prison, getting caught up, that that can't be your purpose. Well, you're not going to be fulfilled as a human being if just money and financial rewards are your purpose.
Hmm.
Go
No, I
ahead,
agree.
B.
I can agree.
Myself, I don't think I really looked at money as it could fix things. You know, I just felt like it can make things better and it enhance things. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I could say in my experience with making money or achieving money, achieving success, is more money brings more problems. You know what I mean? And a lot of people aren't ready for the problems that comes with the more money, from the haters to the more bills, living a different lifestyle and trying to maintain the lifestyle. That lifestyle, from having a more expensive house. Things break down in the house. Now you got a more expensive repairs, uh, things of that nature. More your friends and family, you can do more for them, so you do more, but then they start to expect more from you, and then and so there's just been some of my experiences, but like I said, with the success or having more money, it definitely brings more problems, and it has.
B, so you're saying that money, we I guess our kind of coin phrase for this segment is perpetuality. So you're saying that money can create perpetual problems. It can solve kind of your problems, but then it opens you up to more problems because the more money you make, the more money you spend, therefore the more money you have to make.
Most definitely, you know what I'm saying? And not to be,
That's a
not to
problem.
be,
That's a
not to
problem.
be, not to be cliche though. You know what I'm saying? It's more money, more problems. You know what I'm saying? And so,
No doubt. Nah,
I'm not,
you hit the
I'm
nail
not,
on the head with
it
that.
no, but I'm not saying that the problems outweigh the money. I'm not saying that, or or the all the benefits that come from having money. You know what I'm saying? Versus, but it's something that you when you first go through it, and it's not something that you expect or anticipate. You know what I'm saying? So when it hits you, it kind of can hit you hard. You know, if you're not like I say, we all heard the cliche. You know what I'm saying? But until you actually experienced it, you like, man, I see what they're talking about now. You know what I'm saying? Like
No doubt.
that's
Once you get a
definitely
taste
real.
of it.
Yeah,
No
once you
doubt.
get it, it's definitely real. And even like,
Nah, you
and
said
and the three of us, I don't mean to cut you off, but and the three of us, all of our all of our reasons we went to prison was trying to get more money. You dig what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And that brought a huge problem.
hands down.
And it
Yeah,
brought a huge
Hands down.
problem. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if everybody
100%.
can weather those problems like the three of us did. Hassan's been very blessed. You know what I'm saying? Rasan, I'm sorry, I caught myself. Ross, my bad.
Hmm.
But anyway, so that's another thing that can come with money. You know what I'm saying? You make that bad decisions trying to, or come with success. You can make bad decisions trying to achieve more success.
So I ask y'all this question: is the statement true when they say it's lonely at the top? Like whatever at that moment when you felt like your peak
I'm gonna
moment, is it
say
lonely at the top?
now. Hey, I'm gonna piggyback on what B said and take into consideration that, man, if okay, I haven't met too many people that hang in a circle where everybody's equal. And so, like B said, the more money you make, the more you're doing for other people, or the more you feel you have to do for other people, the more people can ask you. And when you're making it, you just are happy to say yeah, because you feel like if people kind of know what you're making, if they're asking for
Hmm.
so little, it's hard to say no. And so, yeah, it does get lonely at the top because when you come to the realization that these people can't help you the same as you can help them, it's
Yeah,
kind
that's
of,
deep.
you realize if you're an intelligent person that you're somewhat being used.
Yeah.
And if I can't lean on you like you can lean on me, how the hell is that right? So I'm in a class by myself, and who am I going to share my struggles with? And then, you know how they say, you guys ever heard, oh, those are rich people problems? Like I used
Yeah.
to hear that all the time, things I would complain about. So now you have nobody to talk to when you do feel like you're going through something, how people aren't treating you right, how, hey, the simple thing, I'm always treating everybody to dinner. And you feel in the back of your mind like, damn, I wish somebody would just treat me to a drink once or twice. Like, damn, do people
I
only
feel
hang
that.
around that
With
lonely at the
that,
top?
I
Do
yeah,
I
people
without a
only, and
doubt.
then, and if you have successes like for me, I, worked for myself, started companies, did crime for 30 years. And so I was in that, echelon where people didn't bring their wallets out when they came out. And it wasn't like I was sharing how much money I made with them. They were just used to seeing me spend money. And so I got to a point where I would get, intoxicated and I would go off on people out the blue and they wouldn't know why. And that's that lonely at the top shit. I was like,
yeah,
and another thing,
yeah.
it would just come out because I
Is
was
that
frustrated that
I
people
feel
didn't
like
look
you're
out
being
for me.
used.
Like,
You
yeah,
feel like you're being
and
used. You knew you was
Right,
being
right.
I
used.
knew I was being used. Nah,
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah,
came out I was drinking. I'm like, why am
yeah,
I putting myself through this again?
yeah.
Go ahead, B. You've had that feeling at moments in your life.
Um, I don't know if I can really say I've had that feeling, and I think the reason why is because when I've tried to be successful, I've always tried to bring up the ones that the closest to me or around the most, bring them up with me. You see what I'm saying? So,
Hmm.
in my experience, it's typically, even like when I was giving you my athletic example, that was a relay. That wasn't me by myself. You see what I'm saying? And so,
Yeah,
therefore,
I
I've
got you.
always just been around in a team aspect and bringing up others around me. And so I don't know if I can necessarily relate to that, but what I can relate to is when that success it crashes and burns, you know what I'm saying, and things go bad, you know what I'm saying. Then it
Oh, it
gets
get
lonely
real lonely.
because
It get real. It
it
get
gets real
real.
lonely because then you see who's real and who's fake and who's you know what I'm saying,
Yeah. Who just
and
was
man,
leeching and who wasn't.
yeah, and I know you both brothers can relate to that, you know what I'm saying, because Yeah, that's what I say. When it gets hot in that kitchen, you
Nah,
know what I'm
you right.
saying? You know, not everybody gonna stay in there and stay in there with you. You dig?
Hey, B,
uh,
Ross said, is it lonely at the top? It's
You
lonely
right.
at the bottom too.
I think man, what?
Wait. So what you
Yeah,
say? You got to choose your lonely.
Yeah, you gotta
You got to
choose your
choose your
lonely. You
lonely.
wanna be lonely at the top?
Yeah. But
Hey, B,
or what I'm trying to go ahead.
I had a saying back in the day. I told somebody, ex-girlfriend. They said, would you rather be, would you rather be broke and alone, or rich? Was it rich is broken in love, or rich and alone? I
Mhm.
said, ain't nobody needs a relationship when they broke. That was my answer. But then when I went to prison, and I got to see out of, them birthday parties where you had 50 people there and you treat and the whole weekend. But then your no emails come in for a couple days. You definitely don't get no letters, and you get to see who really is there. Like that's why I say it's lonely at the bottom. It's definitely lonelier at the bottom than it is at the top.
Not a
Nah,
doubt.
I can agree. Hey,
Yeah,
look,
yeah.
I'm gonna call this part change my mind. Look, I'm gonna throw out a few statements, and I want y'all guys just to tell me if you agree or disagree. All right.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start with you. I'm gonna start with you, Hassan. So, uh, first statement is does I guess we just hit it. Does money solve most problems? Agree or disagree?
Agree.
You agree. Would you say that becoming rich is easier than staying rich? Agree or disagree?
Agree.
Agree. Okay, agree. Hey, I'm gonna need y'all. Hey,
Agree.
all right, look, uh, B, I got one for you. Does agree or disagree? Does most people sabotage themselves? Agree or disagree?
I 100% agree. They said
You
most
are
people
you a
sabotage.
hundred
Most people, 100. Most
sabotage
people say
themselves.
sabotage themselves. Yeah, without a
I
doubt.
got another one for you, B. Does success amplify who a person really is? Agree or disagree?
I agree. I
You
agree.
agree?
Yeah, without a
Hassan,
doubt.
do most people, Hassan, tell me, most people aren't willing to pay the price success requires. Agree or disagree?
100% agree.
100% agree. 100% agree. Okay. Um, now, one of you tell me, so I have a scenario. If you're making $300,000 legally, right? I'm talking about today's mindset where you all have evolved to. And we're gonna keep it 1,000 for the viewers now. You're making $300,000 legally. You can pay in that. That can be in your. You can finalize if that's monthly, annually. I don't care. $300,000 legally. Somebody offers you a shortcut that'll make you $10 million. Hassan, there's gonna be a hard one for you. This what's going through your mind, right? What questions do you ask yourself today that the younger version of you didn't ask at one point in your life?
All right. So first, my real first question would be, is this illegal?
Is this illegal?
Because not all shortcuts are illegal. I
That's
want to say
exactly.
that to the viewers. Not all
Hey, that.
shortcuts are review. Relationships are shortcuts. Resources are shortcuts.
Yeah,
And so first,
I like that.
if they said, I think this is legal, I would call up one of my attorney friends or one of my attorneys and say, I got presented this. How can we make this legal? And if
Hmm.
they said by any means you can't, I would say, hell no, I can't spend another day in a damn cell. And the 300,000 right now, I mean, 300,000, I have no kids, I got a dog and a wife. 300,000, almost 30 grand a month. You're talking about before or after taxes?
After.
After taxes. Oh, 300,000? Hey, you can live off that.
It's 10 million though. You got a shortcut.
I mean, it's 10 million and a short. Hey, I took a shortcut last time, and it's hey, and they raided my
it,
bank account for
it,
20
it,
million dollars.
it
I took a
almost,
10 million shortcut, and they raided my bank account for 20.
hey,
Hey, them
Yeah.
shortcuts shorten you up,
and,
shorten your pockets.
D, what about D? I got a different one for you. Let's say if
I
a
was looking forward to that question. But go ahead.
okay, go ahead. Give it to me. Give it to
uh,
me. Yeah, let's see.
so
So if you're making $300,000 a
300,
league and somebody
300
offers
to
you a
make
shortcut, what you
300
doing?
to make 300 to make 10 million. My first instinct is gonna be like Hassan said. Is it legal or illegal? You know what I'm saying? And then I got to go think about my experiences, and I'm traumatized because the last time somebody came to me, say, "Man, look, bro, you can roll this miles back, and it's not federally regulated. You can't, you know what I'm saying? It's illegal more or less. You're
Uh,
not gonna go to jail. You see what I'm saying? And man, look,
hey,
the end of the story was
hey, call,
I didn't do my research. You know what I'm saying? And I just listened to what
yeah,
somebody
yeah.
said. You know what I'm saying? And not only just listened to what they said, I heard other people. They would announce it at the auction. It's not federally regulated, so the vehicle's over 10 years old. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm trying to operate, trying to finesse the law, thinking that I'm moving in gray areas with the law. You know what I'm saying? And so, therefore, to answer
Mhm.
your question, I'm gonna do my research, and then if it's illegal, then I don't want no parts of it. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be the 70, 80-year-old brother we was talking about before in previous
Man,
episodes. You know what I'm
man,
Hun-
saying? Working in that kitchen,
man.
walking on my walker to get to the chow hall to pass out silverware and
Triple
fruit.
triple
Mess,
OGB,
man,
triple
what?
OGB with the Walker.
Yeah, man, what? That's not me, bro. You know what I'm saying? So no, I would
Nah, nah,
like Hassan said that I can live out that $300,000 a year, nice and neat. You feel me? So yeah,
nah, 100%. But I do like that you pointed out, Hassan, that, you know, all shortcuts are not illegal. Like some people have learned how to master certain things that you may not understand how to get there faster. You know,
right,
so I
Man,
do,
you think about
which I believe in. That's the importance of like having mentors, things like that, because people have gotten some experience in some areas that you
without a
may
doubt,
bump your head a lot longer to get there. But you are right. You should be challenging though. You should be getting all the details because 10 million is a big number to tell me you know how to get there a little faster.
hey, it's a nice number. Like you talk about, I know Rasan, you watch a bunch of podcasts and like shit, we all watch self-help people. I'm a big Tony Robbins fan. And the short, like people hire mentors all the time.
100%.
And people sell that, and that is a shortcut, but you just have to have the capital to hire the mentor and take it seriously. Because if you can, a shortcut is if you don't have to learn from the bottom up and somebody can give you years of experience within a month or two,
Hmm.
that's a shortcut. And
without a
it's
doubt,
worth paying for it because I believe the only thing in the world you can't replace is your time. Time is the only commodity that nobody, even Elon Musk, hasn't found a way to replace that yet. And so if you can speed up by paying somebody else to learn from that you know is successful, knows what they're talking about, I advise that hands down. That is the best shortcut in life. Like that's why kids have, I had like 5 internships in college. That was a shortcut. That's probably why I jumped out.
Nah, that's
And
good.
I didn't know it was a shortcut back then. I hated the shit, not getting paid to learn. I mean,
That's
it's
real
like
good.
school again, but while you see other people getting paid, which is weird.
So, if a 22-year-old came to one of you guys, right, and they tell you, look, I want to get rich by 30, what advice you giving them?
Okay, I got. I would tell them
I see your wheels. I
one.
see
I
your
would tell
wheels
them three.
turning.
I
That's
would tell
good.
them three things. The first advice is whatever you're gonna do, you gotta be consistent at it. And you're 22, so you got an 8-year plan. I would really say start investing in stocks. I would go with the Mag 7. Whatever capital that you're making, put 20% of it in Mag 7. That's your Amazon, your Googles, your Metas, your Nvidia, your Tesla. Probably now your SpaceX would make a Mag 8. Those companies have so much money, nobody will ever compete with them that it can't acquire. So,
Hmm.
in essence, in theory, their stock is always going to go up. And investing in stock is the only true thing that you can do without knowing anything about the company and make real money off your money. I mean, even if you average out 12%, I mean, if you invested in Nvidia 4 years ago, you might have made a 1,000% return. That would be shit, 100% a year. Where can you go and make that? And so stocks will be number one. Two, it's funny. My family, as being a third generation real estate developer and a broker, I used to always advise people. I was the gung ho dude from 1998 to 2008. If you didn't own real estate, I used to think you were stupid because that's what I
Mm,
was selling, and anything I put my mind behind, I go 100% on. But for now, I think that real estate in most places in major cities is too expensive. So, and then the banks require different things. Like B was saying earlier, you used to be able to do 100% financing, no doc stated income. Now you actually have to prove that you are able to afford things. So
hmm
for me, real estate isn't the move. But the other move that's free now is I would learn AI automation. Even if you're not making systems to resell to other companies, you can do it for yourself, and it will
hmm
make you faster and more efficient. AI is the way to go. I think it's closing the moat between the super intelligent people and the average intelligent people. I think the
hmm
moat used to be very far a couple of years ago, but now with AI for anything technical, I think the moat is only, it used to be, it would take you 4 years of college to learn what a computer science major or a computer engineer did. Now it takes you getting on with ChatGTP, Claude, and just playing around with it for a month or two, and you're now considered an AI engineer. And that just gives you the skills to just imagine what you can create because it's limited now. I used to invest hundreds of thousands, and I could say millions of dollars in tech, but by the time the tech was done, I didn't have money to market. And so now you can invent the tech for free or damn
hmm
near for $120 a month. $20 with ChatGTP, $100 subscription with Cloud.ai. You can pretty much create anything you see on a computer. And the third thing, find somebody who's successful that you think you don't mind doing what they do and just ask them to either, hey, can I follow you? Can I intern for you? Can I work for you? If they're in a field that you see that you'll be interested in, because you got to have some passion about whatever you do to become successful. I've never
hmm
seen anybody become successful at something financially without having a passion for it. And
I
so
like that.
find something you're passionate about, then find somebody who's successful that has achieved something in that passion. Hey, and try to be able to shadow them or hang around them. And those are the three things that I would say do at 22 to become rich. And I say rich is all relative, to
Correct.
not have to work every day for somebody by the time you're 30 and to have a nice nest egg and things that you want.
100%. Be in under 60 seconds. Tell me one lesson that you have learned about failure.
One lesson I've learned about failure kind of goes back to what I was talking about before, man, when we were talking about this lonely at the bottom, you know what I mean? And, when you're on top, you think you got everybody around you that loves you and has your best interest in mind. Uh, Failure will really show you who loves you and who doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Who's in your corner, who ain't. And it definitely, so probably the most thing I learned about failure was it humbled me
You know,
tremendously, you know what I'm saying? And taught me to be humble. And I feel like part of my the reason I put myself in a situation where the person who contacted the feds on me contacted them was because of some of my arrogance and cockiness, you know what I'm saying? And if I would have handled that situation with a little bit more humbleness, it probably wouldn't have went down the way it went down. So, so being humble,
no,
yeah.
definitely what's up. Look, as one thing that we like to say as we get ready to like come to the end. So one thing we like to say around here is that your fifth quarter begins after, which is hilarious, because it's like perfect time of what you said. I believe that your fifth quarter begins after life humbles you, right? Like that's fair enough to
Without a
say.
doubt.
So I'll ask both of you, what's one lesson that you only learned because life humbled you?
I think the lesson I learned is that I chased money for the wrong reasons, you know what I mean? And when I chased money, money became a priority, you know what I'm saying? To the point where I would put myself in situations, take a lot of risks to get me in a lot of trouble. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, what I learned about myself is that money shouldn't have been as important to me that it was. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I was putting it in front of my friends and family because I definitely don't think I was. but I think my pursuit of money clouded my judgment because of the fact that by trying to pursue money, it took me away from my friends and family. Even though I wasn't gone that long, I just the whole experience. You know what I mean? So
That's good. That's good. What about you, Brian?
I was like, it's taught me to treat people with respect and think before I speak. I've said, hey, that money will definitely bring your your ultra ego out of you.
Mm,
And me as I would say, as a witty, quick-witted talker and a talkative guy, is hey, I've been very ego forward in the way I've talked to people in the past, and that's knowing that I could do things for them because I had the money and I had the power, and it was helping them out, it's helping making their lives easier with providing financial access. But when it comes full circle and you need to confide or time or have a heart to heart, people have long memories.
mm,
And even though you may not, I'm one of those people that kind of go to sleep happy and wake up happy and kind of it's always going to be good regardless of what I'm going through. Some people don't think that way. And when you disrespect people, they sometimes hold on to it. A lot of people hold on to it. And if you ever need to circle back when you need to really have a heart to heart, or you need somebody in your corner, that's when
mm.
those people kind of remember how you were, not who
Correct.
you are today.
yeah,
And so I would say with the humbling of, hitting kind of rock bottom and your time being taken away and you needing exterior access, like when you're in prison, you need people to take care of finance, you need people to do this, people to do that. And when people now you're at their mercy, they remember when they weren't at your mercy. And so, if I can go back, I just wish I treated people better and thought more before I acted.
Mm. No, I agree. I think I learned I think when life humbled me, it was the a greater appreciation for the time that I have and maximizing that time, uh, being very intentional with everything that I do. Like I think I learned that. Uh, I just think I was like super careless for a season of my life, and I don't think I was considering. I know I wasn't considering um my actions, right, at all. That's good. So as we get ready, like I said, as we get ready to wrap up, I think today's conversation proves something, right? I think success isn't the destination. I would say it's the responsibility, right? It's the growth, it's the sacrifices. It's becoming someone capable of handling what many people pray for. And maybe that's what the fifth quarter really is all about. It's the season where life teaches you that the lessons success could never. So I want to end with that, man. We're gonna see y'all on next week, man. It's been a great episode, y'all.